when I got into the chairs and was moving up the ladder, we would have an executive meeting, and it was planned chaos, okay? Everybody would be talking at the same time. Everybody interrupted everybody. And it finally got to the point that when I became president, I said this was not going to happen, okay? So we had, my secretary-treasurer at the time was a fellow by the name of Jack Rogers. So we were in San Francisco, and across the street was like Pier 1 or something like that. So I asked him, I said, Jack, do me a favor, see if you can find a bank. So we come back in the afternoon for the meeting, and here comes Jack with this pink pig about yay big. And I said, put it in the center of the table. Everybody sat down, and I said, all right, let's get one thing straight right now. You interrupt somebody that's talking, you put quarter in the kitty. Okay? Well, there was one gentleman by the name of Gordon Johnson that I don't want to say was, but he basically felt that as far as what he could do was up here and the rest of us were here. Okay? So this conversation's going on, and somebody has the floor, and all of a sudden Gordon interrupts. And I look at Gordon, and I said, put a quarter in the pot. Well, he gave me this, like, I don't believe you're asking me to do that. And I said, Gordon, put your quarter in. So he put his quarter in begrudgingly, all right? About 10 minutes later, I guess, or 5 minutes later, he interrupts again. And I said, all right, put another quarter in the kitty. Well, that had everybody going, okay? Now, Charlie Gears would come in, and he'd peel off 3 $1 bills or something, and he'd put it in the kitty thinking that was going to cover him, okay? So he'd go to interrupt, and he'd say, well, forget it. You just donated, okay? That wasn't a quarter. You got to put a quarter in. After that, he used to come with a handful of quarters, okay? But it finally got to the point that we got a lot done in a very short time, and nobody interrupted anybody. But that's the story of the pig. Jack did say the best thing that ever happened was when he went back home, he would take the pig with him, okay? Well, he couldn't do anything but tuck the pig under his arm. So he said that was the greatest thing that went on. When I get on a plane, man, I got to speak to every stewardess on that plane, okay, wanting to know what's with the pig, all right? And as I understand, after I was off, that Charlie inherited the pig. He doesn't have it any longer, but somebody said they got a picture of it, though. Be interesting to see it, okay? But that's the story of the pig. I can't say enough for the organization as far as the group, okay? What my product was that I had was minuscule compared to what Caterpillar had and Onan had, and Detroit Diesel, and even the switchgear people. We made a double wall stainless steel pipe as an engine exhaust, which would replace the Schedule 40 heavy steel pipe, okay, that they did use for exhaust. There were more people that were willing to help and give me help and information on how to design and what is required to sizing an engine exhaust. Ed Newell, for example, basically explained to me when you need to know the back pressure allowable on the engine, you need to know this, you need to know what resistance are on a 90-degree turn or a 45-degree turn. So those were the things that I thought, oh boy, now I know how to do something with it. Well, there was a gentleman that used to belong to EGSA from Onan Company out of Minneapolis. And everybody told me, if you really want to be able to research some of this applications, fellow by the name of Jim Eaton. Well, we're at a Toronto convention, and I'm looking for Jim Eaton. I'm looking high, I'm looking low. I couldn't find him. So I went out to get a cup of coffee in the lobby. The guy says, "Can I pour you a cup?" And I said, "Yeah." And I turned around and badge read Jim Eaton. Okay? So I found him by getting a cup of coffee. Well, what it was is we were trying to put together a set of installation instructions, how to install our product, what you needed to watch for, expansion, contraction, that type of thing. And Jim said, "I'll get my engineers together." He had 4 engineers. We all sat down in a conference room and went over what installation instructions we wrote, and they critiqued them. So they, in essence, helped us write our installation instructions. So in the front cover of the installation instructions, I put in acknowledgement to Jim Eaton of Owen Company has helped with it, creating these installation instructions. So that's the camaraderie. And everybody within the organization can't help anyone fast enough. You know, they're all striving for one thing, and that's the industry and making things work fine.
So it's like a team.
It is. It is a very, very strong team. You can see that from how the guys that hadn't been here for a long time came back, and everybody greets them. You know, it's like, what do I want to say? It's like some of the movies or the books you read about soldiers in battle, how become brothers. Okay, now it's not quite brothers here, but it's close. People are close. People will do whatever they can to help somebody to stay out of a mess. You know, it only seems like not too long ago that I was active. You know, and I can't express enough to EGSA for this invitation, and to get an opportunity to see some of these faces that I haven't seen since '99. You know, so it hasn't been a year or 2 or 3. It's been a few, more than I care to think about.